Hello everybody, I'm Kubi and this is Kubi Does It. So today we're going to talk about Dewalt 20 volt power tools. Now I've been collecting Dewalt 20 volt power tools for quite some time now. And really the things that I want to point out are the fact that even though they're all 20 volt and they'll all say, or most will say 20 volt max, there is a difference between some of the tools. For instance, this is a 20 volt max 1/4 inch impact driver. Works great. I have no problems with it. It goes a long way on this is a 2 amp hour battery. It'll work for quite a while on this, and it'll drive and remove a lot of screws or bolts. But there is a difference in this 20 volt max tool. So this one, if you'll notice here, says brushless. This one does not. So you need to be careful when you buy these tools. Frankly, I knew when this is one of the first ones that I bought, this particular brushed 20 volt 1/4 inch. But you will get much more out of a brushless version than you will a brush. You'll get more battery time. You also get longevity as well. The brushes just hold up. The battery doesn't wear down nearly as fast. So when you're looking at the deals, sometimes $10–15 difference for a brushless versus a brushed, I would highly recommend going for the brushless because it really does make a big difference. Both of these work great, and frankly, unless I'm working for a long time, like all day, I have two because sometimes I'll have one type of bolt or screw that I'm removing and installing, and then I have a second. So it's nice to have a second one to just swap out instead of constantly changing out the bits. Brushless is always better. Now this is also an impact driver. This is a 1/2 inch impact. It's brushless, as you can see on here. This is a DCF 894. It is an awesome tool. If you work on cars, and you can tell this one's a little dirty. All of mine are a little bit dirty, but it's dirty because I work on cars a lot and I use the heck out of this thing. It has never failed me. It's got a ton of power. You can't go wrong, and with the brushless, this thing will go a long time on, I usually use 4 amp hour batteries on these, maybe a 5. I've got some bigger ones that I use. I've also got a Dewalt weed whacker. I've got a Dewalt blower. I've actually got a couple of Dewalt blowers. But this thing is awesome, and I highly, highly recommend it. Now, this is the newest tool to my stable of tools. This is a 3/8 inch battery powered ratchet. Now I have a Cobalt battery powered ratchet that I wasn't going to grab it, but you know what? I will grab it for this. Here's my Cobalt. Now you can see there is a huge difference in the size of these. This one works great, but it doesn't get into tight areas. I can't really use this in places that I would use a typical ratchet. It works well. It has plenty of power for removal and tightening, but it's just not small enough to get into some tight areas. But getting with the Dewalt here, I've used this a few times now since I've had it, and it also comes with a replaceable anvil. This anvil here is 3/8, but it also comes with a 1/2 inch anvil that you can swap out, and they swap out easily. This one just pops right on out, and then you just push it right back in, and there you go. You're good to go. So this one is brushless, and usually a 2 or 4 amp hour battery for me is good. I've got a lot of the Dewalt batteries. I've got a couple of drills. I've got a flashlight. I've got a reciprocating saw. I've got a circular saw. I've got a multi-tool. I've got a lot of different Dewalt tools, as well as, like I said before, I've got the weed whacker, I've got a vacuum, and I've got 2 blowers that are Dewalt. And then I've got this guy. And the best part of this is I can get this just about everywhere I can get a regular ratchet. There are some instances where it's still too big to go in there, but really those are few and far between. It works really, really well, very reliable, and it'll do a lot on a single battery. And that's always important when you're working on cars, because you don't want to constantly have to get up. I'm a big guy and I'm not a young guy anymore. So getting up constantly and having to go find another battery is, well, it's a pain and it's just not comfortable. But so when you're looking for power tools, I highly recommend the Dewalt. If you're looking for a battery powered ratchet, definitely the Dewalt. And if you're gonna buy a power tool, whether it be Dewalt, Cobalt, Milwaukee, Craftsman, any of them, get brushless, because you will get more life out of that tool and you will get more use out of that tool on a battery charge. So that's my hot tip of the day. I hope everybody has a great day. Please hit the subscribe button and the like button, and come back and visit us again.